14 days, the final day of this cycle. Mastery of pattern, not the completion of mastery, the beginning of what mastery means, because mastery is not a state arrived at on the 14th day. Mastery is the quality of operation that deepens through every day of consistent practice that follows. What today gives is not the destination, it is the precise understanding of what mastery of the pattern looks like, so that every day from here you are deepening toward it. This is the 7-minute daily focus, day 154 of 365, to focus on the world within from the world without. Today's focus, the law of pattern, mastery of pattern. Pause for a moment. 14 days, the final day of this cycle. Mastery of pattern, not the completion of mastery, the beginning of what mastery means, because mastery is not a state arrived at on the 14th day. Mastery is the quality of operation that deepens through every day of consistent practice that follows. What today gives is not the destination, it is the precise understanding of what mastery of the pattern looks like, so that every day from here you are deepening toward it. Pause. Mastery of the pattern means this: the law of pattern is no longer something the thinker thinks about. It is something the thinker operates from. The thinker no longer asks whether the pattern is real. They know it is real. They no longer wonder whether development is occurring. They know that active thinking upon the pattern is development. They no longer check conditions for evidence that the pattern is progressing. They perceive the pattern through the first sense, and they know. This is mastery. The law has become the ground beneath the thinker's feet. Pause. Mastery of the pattern is not the absence of challenge. It is not a state where conditions no longer speak, or where the five senses fall silent. Mastery is the state in which challenges do not interrupt development, because the thinker who has mastered the law of pattern has trained the first sense to perceive the pattern immediately, has trained metaphysical visuality to operate as the natural first sight, before the outer world is checked, before conditions are consulted, before the five senses set the agenda. The inner sight opens first. The pattern is perceived, and thinking proceeds from that perception. This is mastery in operation. Thought is within, effect is without, thinking stands between. Pause for a moment. Mastery of the pattern also means mastery of metaphysical visuality. The thinker who has developed the inner sight perceives the pattern with clarity and immediacy, not requiring extended stillness to activate the first sense, not needing to work against the noise of the outer world. The metaphysical visuality opens naturally. The pattern is seen immediately, with precision, and from that immediate, precise perception, thinking aligns with the pattern naturally, without force. The development proceeds not as an act requiring effort, but as the natural operation of a trained thinker. Pause. Mastery of the pattern is also expressed in how the thinker moves through a day. The thinker who has mastered the law of pattern does not carry the anxiety of someone waiting for uncertain outcomes. They carry the quiet certainty of someone who knows what they hold within is already complete, who knows the pattern is real, who knows development is proceeding, who knows the expression will follow. This is not performance. It is the natural quality of a thinker who knows what they carry within is primary, and that primary governs secondary, always. Pause. And carry this from the law of pattern. Every thought you hold within carries a pattern, already complete, already holding its full physical expression, the idea, the dream, the desire, each a complete metaphysical pattern of what will physically express. The five senses cannot perceive it. The physical world cannot confirm it. Only the first sense, through metaphysical visuality, perceives it directly, and it is only from the metaphysical position, the mind yielding to the first sense, operating from primary reality, that the thinker has the power to translate the thought into its physical reality. This is the authority, this is the position, and from this position, held with discipline, the pattern develops and expresses. Pause for a moment. These 14 days are complete, not the practice, the cycle. The understanding is now precise. The nature of the metaphysical pattern, the thought as the container of the pattern, the ground that holds and develops it, the completeness of the pattern within the seed, its stability through conditions, the first sense and metaphysical visuality, recognition of the inner pattern, active thinking directed upon the pattern, steadfastness through the invisible period, the authority of the inner pattern, the full order from pattern to physical expression, discipline as the daily commitment, and mastery as the deepening that continues. This understanding is now the operating ground, not a concept remembered. The precision from which the thinker perceives, develops, and expresses what they already carry within every day. Not doubtfulness, not struggle, not force. You are not pushing the seed, not pressure. You are not trying to make it happen, but steadfastness, focused. Remain aligned with what is within. Do not be moved by what is physically seen, because what is physically seen is always secondary to what is unfolding. Now, the affirmation for day 154. Pause for a moment. I have understood the law of pattern. Every physical form derives from a metaphysical pattern. The inner pattern always precedes what is physically seen. My thought contains the pattern. My desire, my dream, my idea, each already complete, already holding its full expression. The first sense perceives the pattern clearly. Metaphysical visuality is my natural instrument. I operate from within, from primary reality, from the only position that holds the power to translate thought into its physical reality. I sustain active thinking upon the pattern every day with discipline, with steadfastness, with the authority of one who knows what they carry within is primary. And because I remain, the pattern develops, and because it develops, it unfolds. And what unfolds must physically express. Remember, by design, by focus.